Hello there. I'm currently in Bordeaux, the tastings for the 2025 en-primeur wines. And I'm here at Chateau du Domaine with the producer boriemanoux. I'm looking at another one of their wines. This is a Pomerol. This is Chateau du Domainedeleglise. So this is an en-primeur sample of their 2025 wine. Now, Domainedeleglise, very old chateau, formerly evidently a hospital for lepers. Quite a small chateau. It's not necessarily a wine that tends to sell a lot through en-primeur, but a nice opportunity to look at the wine anyway. Now, in contrast to the Trotvier, this is a wine that is predominantly Merlot. The blend in 2025 is pretty standard. It was 98% Merlot and 3% Cabernet Franc. Wine has been aging in French oak barrels and will probably spend at least a year in those, of which 51% of that will be new. Now, the features of 2025, as I've seen them so far, is that this is a warm, dry, relatively arid vintage. And really the vintage was saved by rain falling in August, just giving some relief to the vines and allowing them to get ripening finished. Throughout the vintage, the vegetative cycle was ahead of normal. Bud burst, flowering was early, veraison came early, and harvest was finished by the 19th of September. So let's take a look at the wine, shall we? There's a medium depth here of a quite vibrant red-purple colour. The wine has 13.5% alcohol, and as I'm swirling it, clearly there's quite a good structure because there are some very obvious legs forming in the glass there. So let's see what we make of the aromas, shall we? To me, these aromas are very much what I'd expect to see from a Pomerol, rather than necessarily being the juicy, fruity red fruit you might expect from Merlot. There's sort of an earthiness, there's a tightness, it's almost a sort of a black licorice aroma. And perhaps some graphite hints. So let's have a taste, shall we? The palate is a good weight and is really beautifully fresh. Again, dark, slightly bitter tinted licorice and graphite notes are really making up a very concentrated mid-palate there. There's a fineness to the structure and an elegance that's underpinned by some lovely freshness. The fruit is mouth-watering as you move on to the finish, which is long and again has that sort of slightly graphite, maybe slightly cedary edge to it. Perhaps the texture is closing up the black fruit on the finish a little bit, but there you're seeing black plum, you're seeing damson, you're seeing bullace, all supported by this good acidity, but framed by these really fine tannins that kind of a cedary edge, and then as they run into the sort of more mouth-watering effects, end up with a much smoother cocoa-like nature. I'm really enjoying the mouth-watering nature of the finish here, and I think it would be great to come back to in 3 or 4 years' time once the tannins have softened and that fruit has expanded onto the palate there. Looking at where I think this sits in terms of a score, I think we're probably thinking of a score of at least 91, probably 92, and the wine has good concentration and freshness and could exceed that level quite easily. So thank you so much for joining me. I do hope you've enjoyed the tasting. If you have, do please press the like button. That would be fantastic. If you've got any friends you think might like to watch the video, do please feel free to pass it on to them. And if you have any comments or any questions, do pop those in the comments box below. I'd love to hear what you think about the tastings we're doing, the wines we're looking at, anything else related to that. I will leave a link in the notes below to the winesearcher webpage for this vintage of this wine. You'll be able to see when it becomes available, who is stocking it and at what price. So thank you once again for taking the time to watch the video, and I do hope that maybe you come and join me again. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.